I've got a little exercise for you. Now, once your intelligence surpasses everyone, just highly surpasses any other being that you'll encounter, because you know their past and present just by looking at their name and asking them a few questions, and then listening to their heartbeat from outside, listening to their patterns, their movements, and not being captivated or intrigued by looking into anyone's past or telling them history or telling them the future. You would rather have them either, if they were awake and they were truly one with what one really is, they would be joyous and happy to be there with you. There is no other than the one that would attack the one. There is no other than the one that would do nothing but love the one. Like, literally, I love everybody I see. Doesn't mean that they're going to run up and love me, so I'm not going to just run over and, dishonor them or disrespect them or scare them by running over and just showing them how much I love them. That's a big difference, When you truly are love, you don't run around and flaunt it, and you also don't walk around and put people down and belittle them. You point out what's wrong. If they take offense, that's not you. That's you helping them and them taking offense. That's different. It's so different. So when you get to that point, you don't want to show people that you're smart. You don't care about that. You don't want to show other people that are trying to help and are called gurus by other people that don't necessarily say they're gurus, but they've got all this credit and all this whatever on TV, and they've got all this money, they've got all this fame, and that will go to their head. And like other people will say, yeah, you can say that. And I've heard these other people say really meaningful things, because I'm not saying that other people aren't saying really meaningful things. They are. But if they're capitalizing with money, they're taking one big step in a wrong direction of a pattern of echoes that you don't see, but do see on a farther out time level. Just like water, time is a kind of bubble that we are in. We are in a time bubble, and our words do echo back to us. It just depends on if you listen to them and say no, or if you let them in and take them as part of you. And then on different levels, it's your feelings. All five senses have levels of if you respond to them. Like this exercise is when you have your eyes closed, when you plug your ears at the same time. Now, is it easier for you to hear with your eyes closed and imagine hearing a noise? Or is it easier for you to see with your ears plugged? Now, it's easier to see with your ears plugged. So now when you have your eyes closed, can you picture something better than you can hear something? If both your ears and your eyes are closed and plugged, can you picture something with your vision better than you can hear something? Or are they even, or can you not do one of the two? So what combination? And that's answered to you, of course. Now, are you able to taste something without it being there? If you can, is it as strong as the sight when your eyes are closed, or the hearing when your ears are plugged? Now, can you feel things on your skin when there's nothing touching you? Or can you feel sensations on your skin, or sensations inside a bone, or inside your toe, or in your hair follicles, in your ear canal, under your nose? Is your nose itchy? Can you make your lips can you feel your lips? Can you say, I feel my lips right now? Say, I'm nothing but my lips. And it sounds silly, but do whatever you want. You pick your own spots and travel around yourself. And then, of course, smell. Can you smell things when you're not trying to? Like when your eyes are closed, your ears are plugged, you're not touching anything, and you're not listening to anything, you're just not tasting anything. Now, and your nose is plugged. Can you smell anything? If you can, is it just as strong as any of the other senses, or is it worse? Or is it very vague? Now, there's another sense above all those that develops all those senses, just like a rainbow is in like a circuit of 7. Those are only the 5 we have. The sense that is the main one you use all the time is what we would call our astral body, but it's really a sense of ours. It develops all of them, and it's located in our brain, but it's fed by our stomach, and it is what's it called, supplied with fuel by our heart, just like other vehicles, just like on a macular level, we are everything as above, so below. And there's little parts changed up here and there, but they do relate to other things and they work in certain ways because of the way they're said. Like when you go forward, you get in a Ford. When you like, not always, like when you Chevy, you shuffle, you chariot, those kind of ch is the character, the thing, that the concept that you're in, and then you are moving vitally from, and then the y is like coming from one place, meeting in that spot and going either way and going vitally somewhere, so like they are symbols and they mean what they mean. And just like the tools you use to build it and the components and all the little things that you use to put them together, they're actually shapes. And they're not just like, when you look at something, it gives you, it sounds like that don't sound right. It don't look like that at all, because everything looks like what it really is, unless you just don't care and you go, that's a who's a what's it. Like, so now what you do after that sense is developed, you're not tasting, hearing, touching, tasting, feeling, all this kind of stuff, all your senses. Now the sixth one is the one that develops all those. Now take every word off everything. You can't think the word the, because the separates you from silence to make any sound. Now take that sound out of your mental mind that develops, if you don't have the ability to taste, hear, see, feel, touch, move, any of that kind of stuff, you're not using any of those senses in the first place. So if those 5 are gone, you feel like that's all we have. But that sixth one is developing those 5. Now, all 5 of those are in one spot. There's something higher than that, and that would be your highest astral self, and that would be what puts you here. The little spark of light that was your beginning little tiny seed of a seed pod that once, almost like a seed you put in the dirt, or a little spermie that hits the egg, that there's a little piece of it left on the very top, and that's the very first signal. Let's say it's like an antenna. It's the top of your brain. It's the pineal gland resonates like the sun, and that's where that invisible idea of aura comes from, and the whole pattern of the rainbow does come from. Just like everything you look at is in a shape, it comes from right there. The key of your mind. The key of your mind is the thinking, the colors of your thoughts. What you think is that. Now I want you to try this exercise. I know it wasn't really guided, but I want you to hear what I'm saying and practice that. As silly as it may sound to you, you're doing it with your eyes open, but you're letting other people create your world, and you keep saying, well, I can't do nothing about it. Yeah, but the weird thing is, you can. You can remove yourself from it. If it really bothers you that bad, you don't have to, say, the world is mine, I'm going to kill you or take you out, or make some other people like rally together and get you out of my life. You just say, I don't need you. And I respect you enough to leave it alone. Unless you're harming people, then you got to bring up something and somehow help people. That's why I'm trying to reach out as much as I can without doing anything violent, because that doesn't help anything at all. I know how the echo works in a spiritual fashion, and I'm trying to explain this to people, but people are so distant from even thinking that they have a spirit, that they don't understand that there's something animating what we call skin. There's something animating your mind that gives you the ability to think that you are a person with a job in a place to live, and you need a house over your head in order to survive, although you could live outside for 100 years and never have a home, because we have, all of us, so many times, and now we're this big. And we have a spiritual molecule that's just like that kind of thing, that has that seed pod that came from something else. There are other pieces of light that are passing on in that 7th generation kind of thing. There are pieces of your grandpa in you, of course. There are pieces of his grandpa in you, of course. Until time is gone, there's pieces of everything that's ever been in you. And everyone gets that when they think about it in small terms, but realize that that's you, not just in concept. Oh, guess what? That's cool. Did you know that they say that your great-grandpa once did that? Yeah, because it's you. The spirit that's talking has never been saying it from another spot besides itself. And itself is you. Myself, I self, thyself, yourself, his self, herself. They're all the same self. That's why we don't say selves. But we say selves when you say, I'm talking about myself here. You say self still. When you talk about other people, you say yourselves. There's reasons for that. And the reason is because there's never been any other speaking spirit other than this one. There's an astral level where there's speaking spirits in the actual world that's moving around that you don't see. Now you're in a physical body and you think that's all woo-woo, but if you don't really understand that you're bigger than a bug, and to a bug you are terrifying, there are things way bigger than you, and you will be them someday, and you are them now from a different vantage point. But you'll be there if you want to be there, and you can control it the more you understand what I'm talking about. You aren't your senses, but you are the sensei of your senses. So think about it. And may you, God, and God be with you.